Well, a big weekend of football in the capital continues. Right now, it is the Dublin Senior 2 Football Championship semi final. Cuala taking on Templeogue Synge. Of course, St. Bridget's awaiting the winners in the final. They overcame Nave Marnogue in yesterday's semi final. We've got an A final as well. Today, Kilmacud Crokes taking on Ballymun. That will be live on TG Cahir a little bit later. If you want to watch back yesterday's A and B finals, including that Bridget's Nave Marnogue game, you can do so via Dubs TV. Of course, Ballyboden overcoming St. Jude's 2-11 to 1-11 in the A semi-final. Right now our concentration is on the Senior 2 semi-final, as I say, between Cuala and Templeogue Synge. It could be a good couple of weeks for Cuala. Remember, they're senior hurlers in the final next week. Again, we'll bring you live on Dubs TV. Let's have a look at the teams, starting with Cuala. Well, a couple of standout names, including Michael Fitzsimons at the back and Conor Callahan in the front. He might roam around and pick up ball wherever he can and kind of get things going for his team. They're not the only standout names, though. Peadar O'Cuffig Byrne has made a bit of a name for himself in Dublin colours over the last couple of seasons, between underage and now breaking into the kind of adult levels, and he will be one to watch. That is a very, very talented Cuala starting 15. For Templeogue Synge, Cillian O'Gara is a name that you will definitely know. Niall Scully the same. They've done well to get to the semi-final, and they're a club that are growing all the time, and they'll want to continue that growth by reaching the Senior 2 final if they possibly can. So it's a beautiful day in Parnell Park. It's about 22 degrees. There's a slight breeze, but it is summery. And I know we're into September and it's supposed to be getting colder, but if anything, it's going the other way around. Cuala warming up to our left, and as you can see on the right hand side, it is Templeogue Synge in those blue and white striped jerseys. This a big game for them, as it is for Cuala, in perfect conditions. Our referee, by the way, is David Sweeney. They're looking fit and sharp, as you can see, and they're getting the final words in ahead of this game. You often wonder how much is taken in these kind of last minute conversations, the instructions that are being given. Can players really take on much more than they've already been given, or is it just a case of getting around and being there for each other? One thing is for sure, they won't be giving up anything easy today. They know they're up against it, though, against a really high class and high quality Cuala team. Cuala hurlers in the senior final next week. That's the Senior A hurling final, a game you'll be able to watch live on Dubs TV. But can their footballers in Senior 2 make it to a final as well? They're a talented dual club, and they've been on quite a journey in the last couple of years. Okay, it's been more successful in hurling because it's brought them a couple of AIB All-Ireland club titles, and of course last year they won Dublin again. They were disappointed to go out of Leinster at the hands of St. Mullins of Carlow, but they're back in the hunt again. The footballers also in the hunt, and just like Templeogue Synge in that kind of last huddle, those last few words. It is a pity, and we've said this numerous times over the last couple of weeks, but the message doesn't mean any less regardless of how many times you say it. It is a pity that fans aren't here. They can't be here. But we're glad that we can bring you this game, and we hope you enjoy it. And we'd love to hear from you, by the way. You can get us via Twitter at DubGAAOfficial. And if you send in your messages and tell us where you're watching from, then we may say hello to you. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, but Twitter is probably the fastest and handiest. So the teams break off into their positions. The calm moments before the storm. This is where the lack of crowd really hits home. There's no noise, there's no support, it is just silence. It's eerie because normally at this stage, ahead of a semi-final in a championship, be it a county semi-final or an inter-county semi-final, be it a provincial semi-final or an All-Ireland Series semi-final, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of atmosphere, there's a lot of expectation. No one has won yet, no one has lost yet, no one has made any mistakes, no one's fallen behind, no one's raced in front. It's just there waiting to unfold in front of our very eyes and for us to see. Certainly all of that stuff may and could happen, but it's just strange that there's no noise to accompany it. It's one thing I'll never get used to with the lack of crowds, and hopefully you'll be back soon. But Brian Smith, wearing 17, is starting for Cuala, so there is a late change for them. Handshakes all around. And Niall Scully has already gone in on Mick Fitzsimons. What a battle that could be. Cillian O'Gara also in that forward division for Templeogue Synge Street. As we say, a club that's growing all the time. If you follow their Twitter, you'll see the story of it. Granted, you won't get the full detail, but you'll see the story of it. As you don't get on any Twitter feed. You have to kind of really be part of a club to get the full story, but you know what I mean. It's a free in already in the game. Conor Mullally looking inside for the one and only Con O'Callaghan, who loves to get out in front and loves to run at defences. Doesn't do it on this particular occasion. It's O'Gillon looking for the first, and he's got it. It's well worked. Beautifully worked. Con O'Callaghan. I see O'Gillon. Two followed O'Callaghan. It left O'Gillon free. And that is the danger. Even if you double mark O'Callaghan, it means you're leaving someone else free. We've already seen that can be damaging. Con out in front. Nice take by Michael Fitzsimons, who's come all the way up from the back. He's being fouled. Another free for Cuala. Owen O'Gara, by the way, at midfield for Templeogue Synge Street today. They go short with the free. Luke Keating. Keating has a runner inside. That's O'Gillon. Instead he goes to O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan off to Luke Tracy. Tracy creates a bit of space, and Tracy pops it over. Again, just picking them apart. Luke Tracy up from centre back. Collie into the middle. The aim is Owen O'Gara. He doesn't quite get to it. Con O'Callaghan collects it again. He's dragged down by the fullback. That's Rob Power. Out it goes. Brian Smith. The attempt from Niall O'Callaghan. Kicks it wide. First wide for Cuala. Bit of a let off for Templeogue Synge Street, who have not had a good start to this game. Cuala looking to win the breaking ball again. That's guided out by Diarmuid O'Flynn. Oh, he doesn't catch it right, does he? He's really frustrated. Lorcan O'Dell. Well, for a second I thought goalkeeper Philip Green was coming up to take the line ball. He isn't. He was just giving it up to O'Flynn. Con O'Callaghan out in front again. Taking off Michael Fitzsimons. Worked into the corner. Now O'Callaghan finds a route through. Fitzsimons back to O'Callaghan. And Templeogue Synge Street rescue possession. Here's McKiernan. Scully. Swain. Stayed cool under pressure there. Swain got it off to Gillen. Back to Niall Scully. O'Gara. Trainer. This is really good work from Templeogue Synge Street. Almost giving it up. Ordell got onto it but couldn't hang on to it. Lovely pass, pop pass to Michael Fitzsimons, who is living inside the Templeogue Synge Street half at the moment. Niall O'Callaghan gets his boot around that. and guides it over. Into the hands of a red jersey. Good mark taken. O'Gillon. Has he put too much on that? Yes, he has. Now O'Callaghan is fast, but he's not that fast. Lots of movement. Colley finds a man in the middle. That's a good mark taken by Alex O'Toole. O'Gara's onto it. Such an experienced campaigner, has had a horrific time with injury, so it's really good to see Owen O'Gara out there. Down the line it goes to Cillian O'Gara. Dylan Tracy stuck with them. Cillian O'Gara is dispossessed. Good hand in there from Peadar O'Cuffig-Byrne. Power lets it down for Mullally. Mullally spotted the run of O'Gillon, who's turning and twisting and trying to get away from his man. Inside it goes to Smith. Long ball inside from Mullally, but there was no one there. However, he was hit late and it's a free in. Mullally is still down. Mullally back up and running. And the free is popped over. No, it's not. He'll have to go again. Well, the referee is running over to have a word with the linesman. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe there was something going on off the ball. If there was, I did not spot it. In the meanwhile, Conor O'Callaghan wants to go again, but he's told to hang on. The referee, David Sweeney, is calling someone over here. Yellow card. It's for Sean Brew, number 8. They work it short. It's Conor O'Callaghan. Fancies a goal. Has to settle for a point. Plenty of movement there. Now Scully drops deep, collects. Scully hears the shout from O'Dell. O'Dell down towards Cillian O'Gara, who slides onto it. And he's fouled, and a bit of a break goes for Templeogue Synge Street. And they try to go quickly. Vickery down the line to Owen O'Gara. Owen O'Gara up against Michael Fitzsimons. I'm sure they've had many battles in training. He overcarries there. Back it goes to Green, who's pretty much been a passenger so far. Into the hands of Luke Tracy. I wonder what the manager of Templeogue Synge Street, Mike Fitzpatrick, is thinking right now. They can't concede anymore, that's for sure. Here's Niall O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan drops, tries to regather, does regather. Still going, O'Callaghan dragged wide. Well, you do get a feeling, even at this stage of the game, if Cuala were to get a goal, it may well be game over. As we say, Templeogue Synge Street, their story continuing, but their minor B and E teams are in finals on the 20th of September. Inside it goes. They're looking for Lorcan O'Dell. O'Dell! Oh, that's a wonderful goal. It's exactly what Templeogue Synge Street needed. O'Gara with a lovely pass. It was beautifully weighted, but it was a fantastic finish from Lorcan O'Dell. Well, we were talking about Mike Fitzpatrick, the Templeogue Synge Street manager, and what he might be thinking. I'm sure he was thinking, God, a goal would be great. Well, they've got one now. And they did it with really good, incisive football as well. Well, that'll settle them down. And they even look a bit more confident. Popped off by Alex O'Toole. Intercepted by Conor Mullally. Cuala have the advantage. Mullally goes long to O'Gillon. Sean Brew is breathing heavily in the middle of the park. He's up and running again. A ball played in. It shouldn't have come to Keating, but it did. Keating! Good save by the goalkeeper. Mullally won the ball back. They had the free. They didn't need to take it. O'Gillon selling dummies left and right to Alex O'Toole. That ball really should not have come to Luke Keating. The defence should have done better, but the keeper bailed them out, majorly so. Here's Philip Green coming up to strike the 45. Green doesn't quite catch it, and that is a real let off for Templeogue Synge Street. They just played their way back into the game, and while the concession of a goal wouldn't have meant they were gone, it would have been a big blow, having just done something really positive. What a goal it was by Dublin under 20 Lorcan O'Dell. Happy to report as well, by the way, Sean Brew is looking okay again. He was kind of leaned over a couple of seconds ago. Here is that goal by O'Dell. And that's why he gets to wear the blue of Dublin at under 20 level. Here's O'Flynn. Lovely hand passing by Cuala. Plenty of options, including Con O'Callaghan. What an option to have, but he completely undercooked that. However, the free was coming. Luke Keating. It's another wide. 4 wides now for Cuala. Scully. O'Gara wanted it, but it's Lorcan O'Dell who runs onto it. He's looking dangerous again. O'Dell inside, looking for Traynor and finding him. Traynor, they're going for goal again. Traynor! Good save by Green. It will come back out to O'Dell. Kind of straight at the goalkeeper. You'd expect him to save it, but you still have to get in the way. Here's O'Gara. O'Gara measures, but not well enough. Scully was the aim. It does come to Scully, although it was almost intercepted. Just booms one high, and why not when O'Gara's on the edge of the square? O'Gara breaks it for himself, but only into the path of Sheeran. Sheeran's on his way. Gets it back to Michael Fitzsimons. Smith was there, but that's not the option they went to. Templeogue pressing up. It's good to see, and they've got the free in. Lorcan O'Dell is in a rush to get the ball. Scully drops it to the back stick. O'Gara was trying to get there. It is gathered by Vickery. That would be a 45. Or it should be. Well, I thought it took a touch on the way out. Let's have a look as we go to the water break. Oh, it didn't. He just couldn't wrap his boot around it. It is a wide. Well, it's been a very exciting game. Let's look at the best bits so far. That was a beautifully measured point. Con O'Callaghan working it well to Luke Keating. Keating back to Con O'Callaghan. Drew in the defenders, and then it was popped over by Tracy. Kind of hooked it over. Cuala led by 3 points after 5 minutes. Fitzsimons in the build-up to this score. Neat turn. Good finish by Niall O'Callaghan. They could have had a goal, but Con had to settle for a point. 4 points and 4 different scorers for Cuala. But despite their early dominance, there was only one between them with 10 minutes played, and that is thanks to this Lorcan O'Dell goal. Yet to score a point, Templeogue Synge Street, but if they can keep finding the net like that, they'll be alright. Ball down the line to O'Gillon. And if memory serves, there was a real let-off here. It came to Luke Keating. It really shouldn't have. Templeogue Synge Street should have dealt with it, but their goalkeeper, much to his credit, did. Fantastic stuff. 4 wides though for Cuala. That's not a stat that they'll be particularly happy with at the moment. And just before that last wide from Templeogue Synge Street, just before the water break, Cuala had 3 good chances which they didn't take, and you wonder, will they regret that? They had 2 wides, and of course that fantastic save by the goalkeeper. That's a really good fetch in the middle of the park. It's recycled out to James Power. James Power, very well taken off to Con O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan moves it on. It goes loose, and Cuala get the free in. Con O'Callaghan dinks it over. Diarmuid O'Flynn winning the free quite well. Mullally, Smith, O'Flynn, Power, Con O'Callaghan goes to ground and gets another free. His speed is causing real issues for Templeogue Synge Street. Has Luke Keating drawn that in enough? Yes, he has. 2 frees in a row for Cuala. It's well taken. Vickery. Alex O'Toole moves it on. Jamie Gillen. Good ball out wide. Cillian O'Gara. Cillian O'Gara inside. It's Gillen! Referee is giving the free in. Well, they've ran through the heart of that Cuala defence on a couple of occasions now in Templeogue Synge Street. They're well capable of getting goals, and that was really, really close. O'Gara got a high tackle there. I think that's why the free is coming. That actually came off the post for a second there. I thought maybe the keeper got a leg to it, but either way, it is Templeogue Synge Street who get the free, and Templeogue Synge Street who were able to pop it over. Niall Scully doing the necessary. Power. Conroy. Conroy wants it back, but it's Mullally. Michael Fitzsimons. Dr. Michael Fitzsimons to give him his full title. Running ahead of him, Con O'Callaghan. Con O'Callaghan runs onto it. And Alexis fists it over. And does. 3rd point for O'Callaghan. Cuala turn it over. Gillon looking for Con. He has found Con. Inside is Niall O'Callaghan. Con brings it in himself and kicks over his 4th of the game. Intercepted. James Power. Off it goes. Conor Mullally. Mullally has Niall O'Callaghan in front of him. The shot is smothered by O'Toole, but the free was coming. In fairness to the referee, David Sweeney, he is letting it flow and giving advantage whenever he can. Conor Mullally is struggling a wee bit. The indication seems to be that his race is run and Cuala will have to make a change. So the change has been made. It's unfortunate for Conor Mullally. And Niall James, who had been named to start. It's actually, I beg your pardon, Cal Doran, who's wearing 18 as opposed to 8. Here is Luke Keating, who curls it over. And Cuala lead by 5. Michael Conroy got a little shove off the ball by Trainer. Trainer wins the ball. Back inside to him it goes. Scully giving absolutely everything for his team today. It's wonderful to see all the county players and what they're able to give their clubs due to the change in season, the necessary change in season. And it's not that they weren't doing it before, it's just that very often they'd come off the back of an inter-county season and they were jaded. They'd given everything to their county over a long campaign, especially Dublin players, because their campaign has gone all the way for the last 5 years in a row. But you can just see it. A lot of them are hopping off the ground for their clubs at the moment. It was just something that, again, they were trying to do it, they just weren't capable of doing it because of the physical exhaustion they had gone through. Now trying to run onto it is Owen O'Gara. He will get there. O'Gara looks like he's brought down in the square. It is a penalty for Templeogue Synge Street. O'Gara finished it off anyway. He's frustrated that the penalty has been awarded. He actually wants the credit for the goal. But in fairness, the whistle had gone and had gone for a while by the time O'Gara popped back up and buried it. It's actually a free, I beg your pardon. Well, no wonder O'Gara's frustrated. I'd like to see it again, but I think he might have been taken down in the square. Niall Scully will pop it over, no doubt, and reduce the arrears, but it could have been more for Templeogue Synge Street. Scully's second of the game. A wait of over 5 minutes since Templeogue's last score. That also Niall Scully free. Doran got onto it. Inside it went. Running out to try and get on the ball is Sugilon. He does get it now. Tracy moves it on. O'Flynn. Power. Can't get there. Another score or two before half-time would really give Templeogue Synge Street a fillip. Not that they're out of it or anything like that. There's only 4 between them, and as we've seen, they are capable of getting goals. Lorcan O'Dell, the Leinster under-20 player of the season, goes to ground and bounces back up. Swain moved it on. Luke O'Brien. Good tackle from Michael Conroy. Easy is the call at Mikey Conroy from his teammate. Rides the tackle from O'Dell, gets it inside to Luke Tracy. Luke Keating. Con O'Callaghan evades his tackler very well. Off it goes to O'Cuffig Byrne. O'Cuffig Byrne back outside. Keating. Oh! He was coming at it from an angle, but he will still be disappointed not to, at the very least, tested the keeper. Lovely move though from Cuala. Watch this from O'Callaghan. His man committed himself, but it was still nice moving from O'Callaghan to get away. Scully was pushed, referee lets it go. O'Gillon. There was a man roaming free inside, he didn't spot him. Conroy. Slaloms down to Caldoran. Caldoran tries to find O'Flynn. O'Flynn! Keeper is there bravely again. It's when you get to the semi-final and final stages that you really miss the crowd, because they'd be kind of oohing and ahhing and reacting to all of this stuff. There's been a lot of incident. There's been a lot of heavy but fair tackling. A lot of good scores, and now the possibility of a goalkeeper coming up and popping over a 45. He had jogged up, he then turned back all off camera, but now he's coming up again. And he wasted his time because Cuala work it short. James Power wins the free. And he heard the shout to leave it off, so Cuala are going to go for it. Luke Keating, who's already popped up and scored 2 from frees, but both from much tougher, or this is a much tougher angle than the previous 2. He doesn't even go for it, he goes for James Power. O'Gillon. Sheeran, back to Smith. Forward it goes from O'Gillon. Lovely pass it was as well. Con O'Callaghan with the show and go. Into the little pocket of space, and O'Gillon looking for his second, and he gets it. Again, we'd love to hear from you. The best way to get in contact is via Twitter @DubGAOfficial. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook as well. As Cal Doran looks to squeeze one over, and does. Very good score from the sub. Replaced Conor Mullally a few minutes ago. Don't forget, coming up at 4:30, Kilmacud Crokes taking on Ballymun in the second of the Senior A semi-finals this weekend. That's live on TG Cahir. O'Gillon measures, shoots, and scores. 3 from him, all from play, and they've gone on a bit of a run before half-time, Cuala, and that has them in a very comfortable position, 7 up going into the break. Templeogue Synge Street with a young-looking bench. Oh, it's broken down again for them, and here's Niall O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan! No stopping that! What a finish by Niall O'Callaghan. And a 10-point gap is it's not quite reflective of the play of the first half, although Cuala, to be fair, have been the better side for long periods. Can Templeogue do something before the break? Niall Scully. Just goes to show how big decisions can turn games. A couple of minutes ago, Cuala should have given away a penalty. Here is Killian O'Gara. O'Gara with an eye for goal. Might settle for a point. Oh, it just doesn't catch it right at all. Yes, Owen O'Gara was brought down. And at the time, I have to say, I thought it was in the square. I'd like to see the replay. But they got a free rather than a penalty. And while they popped over the free, since that, Cuala have got on top. Swain. Ger Vickery tries to get there and does, much to his credit. Templeogue needs something before the break, even if it's just a point. Scully. O'Gara. O'Gara was stuck to there, but he did manage to get the ball. Now he's managed to get it back. And he gets a good score. Scully and O'Gara combining. And it's half time, 1-12 to 1-3. It's a little bit harsh on Templeogue Synge Street. That said, Cuala have had a number of goal chances. They've only taken one. Had they taken the others, they'd be even more in front. Niall O'Callaghan with an absolutely wonderful finish. He's on 1-1 for the half. Conor O'Callaghan, as you would expect, central to so many things that have been positive about Cuala so far. He's scored 3 points himself from play. He's got 1 from a free. Cathal Gillon also having a good day. He scored 3 from play. Luke Keating has popped over 2 frees. The good thing about Cuala is it's not just the Con show. Yes, he is the key that unlocks defences, and yes, he brings other players into it, but they have to work hard and they have to finish the opportunities that are presented, and for the most part they have done. For Owen O'Gara and Templeogue Synge Street, it's been a struggle to get scores. They've got 2 Niall Scully frees and 1 O'Gara point, and of course that goal as well. But yeah, it's a tough place to be for them. So these are the highlights of the second half pre or post the water break. And here is that incident. Oh, it's not the incident I spoke about, beg your pardon. It's the shot that came off the post from Jamie Gillan. That's a free from Scully. And after that, Cuala just kind of turned it on a bit. Conor O'Callaghan getting away from Gillan and popping it over with the fist. They've opened up that Templeogue defence on any number of occasions, and that was a beautifully drawn in point. Mullally, who went off injured not long after this, winning the free for his team. And Luke Keating, this one of his 2. Long, high, lofted ball. And here is the incident. That's definitely a penalty, and it was only given as a free. Scully guided it over. And yes, Cuala have been the better team, but those are the kind of decisions you need to go for you, and it didn't. And how it was missed, I don't know. But anyway, Luke Keating getting involved. Conor O'Callaghan mesmerising the defence again, and Peadar Byrne creating an opportunity, and they couldn't find the net on that occasion. They wouldn't have to wait too much longer. Here's Conor O'Callaghan, and that was a very well taken point. Here's another one. Caldoran, who wasn't long off the bench. Nice finish. Gillon scored some nice points in the first half. Some nice points on a very, very nice day. Niall O'Callaghan. That was a brilliant finish from a tight enough angle. A rocket. And much to their credit, Templeogue Synge Street didn't let the heads drop. They battled on. They knew they needed something before the break. A goal ideally, but they had to work hard to create opportunities, and O'Gara didn't take that one, but it wasn't long after that they got a score. O'Gara central to it, Owen O'Gara along with Niall Scully. And with half the Cuala defence around him, he still got the time and space to get the shot over with his right. So Cuala leading 112 to 1-3 at the break in the Senior 2 Football Championship semi-final. St. Bridget's awaiting the winners in a couple of weeks' time. Don't forget, coming up a little bit later at 4:30, it's Kilmacud Crokes against Ballymun. You'll be able to watch that. That's the Senior 1 semi-final. That's on TG Cahir. If you want to watch back yesterday's Senior semi-finals, both the Senior 2 and Senior 1 games, you can do so via Dubs TV. We're going to take a little break. You'll still see pictures. You just won't hear me for a few minutes. Remember, you can keep in contact with us via @DubGAOfficial. We're on Instagram and Facebook as well, but that's probably the fastest and most direct route to get us if you want to watch us, no matter where you're watching around Dublin or indeed around the world. Half-time, Cuala 112, Templeogue Synge Street 1-3. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back to Parnell Park. We're about to start the second half of the Dublin Senior 2 Football Championship semi-finals. Cuala very much in charge, as you can see, 1-12 to 1-3 towards the end of the half. Templeogue Synge should have had a penalty. Ono O'Gara definitely hauled down in the square. The referee, I think he actually did award it and then had a chat with the umpire, and then a free was awarded, which it shouldn't have been because it was a very obvious penalty. It was very much inside the square, and on such things games can turn. Now Cuala have been the better team, there's absolutely no doubt about that, but after that Cuala went on a run and well, they're 9 up going into the second half. That penalty call was on the 25th minute, and at that stage Cuala led by 5. Templeogue got a free which they scored, so that narrowed the gap to 4, but yeah, after that Cuala just kind of went on a bit of a run. 1-8 for Cuala versus 3 points for Templeogue Synge since the water break in the first half. That tells you an awful lot about the momentum of the game. Templeogue with 2 Niall Scully frees and an O'Gara point from play. They got a goal in the first half of the first half, if that makes sense. After that penalty that wasn't and the free that was converted by Scully, Cuala went on to score 1 goal and 3 points in the space of 4 minutes. And that despite the fact that they lost Conor Mullally to an injury after 26 minutes. He was replaced by Cal Doran, who also contributed to the score sheet, popping over a nice point. So, do Templeogue Synge have a potential shock in them, because they would have been underdogs going into this game, but as we saw throughout the country this weekend, the underdog tag meant very little. Ballyhale Shamrocks almost beaten by James Stephens in Kilkenny yesterday in hurling. Erin's Own very much unfancied in the Cork Senior Hurling Championship, beating Sarsfields. Sars were 4-1 on for that game. Here in Dublin, can Templeogue Synge keep the shocks going? O'Callaghan goes down, no penalty, tries to squeeze it out to Cal Doran. Free out for Templeogue. Collie. This is brave from the goalkeeper. Niall O'Callaghan, the goal scorer, tries to dispossess him. Now it's Niall Scully. He's fouled and gets involved with Brian Smith. Such a solid performer, Niall Scully. Cillian O'Gara made his way out in front. He wanted the ball. Owen is the aim. Fitzsimons gets his hand in and gets it down to Doran. Padder O'Cuffig Byrne, who's a bit of a giant. As we say, making his way with Dublin despite having Meath blood in him. Sent on by O'Callaghan to James Power. James Power spots a man ahead. That's O'Gillon. O'Gillon pulls on it and sends it wide. Hand in from Cuala. Doesn't quite work out for them, although the ball pops out. Now it's regathered by O'Flynn. That's a beautiful pass to O'Gillon. 3 first half points. Can he get one at the start of the second? No. Down the line it goes to Cillian O'Gara. Does he have the beatings of Michael Fitzsimons here? Just couldn't quite hang on to it. But he's backed up by Lorcan O'Dell. O'Dell gets it into the hands. O'Dell is foul free in. They needed that and they've got it. They are resilient, Templeogue Synge Street, and of course they have the tactic should they require it, should they want it, of just plain and simply putting Owen O'Gara into the full forward position as they did against Nave Olaf, and it worked a treat. That his best performance of the season. Fitzsimons. O'Gara chasing after him. Oh, they've given it away. Trainer trying to get away from Conroy. It's another free for Templeogue Synge Street, which they take quickly through O'Gara, but they're not allowed. Scully. O'Gara was the aim, but it bounced into the path of O'Flynn. James Power. Con O'Callaghan juggles but keeps it. Has Caldoran running in front of him. Inside is O'Gillon. Mightn't need either of them. Con O'Callaghan glides it over anyway. The foul was committed. I think it was Swain who tugged him back. Well, that is a real pity because Templeogue Synge Street went from a free inside the Cuala half, and they could have gone for it directly, but even if they didn't, it might have been a case that they'd kick it dead and Cuala would have to work it up the park. But instead, they tried a short one. Cuala intercepted, got it up the pitch quickly, and kicked a point. A bounce on Conroy. Referee lets it go. Cuala win it back. They're a joy to watch when they move it to the hands or go with those kind of direct kick passes. Here's O'Gillon again. Caldoran. He threw that one, and it's a free out. Scully. Trainer. Swain. Trainer. Odell. Odell goes long to O'Gara. Owen O'Gara has gone into full forward, by the way. Fitzsimons is picking him up. Killian O'Gara driving at the goal. Killian O'Gara. That hit a hand, but it didn't go out. No, it did, according to the umpires. And it's a 45. Scully. Couldn't quite keep it on target. Worth going for, though. Con O'Callaghan comes away with it again. He is an absolute joy to watch. He's fouled, free for Cuala. Sean Brew getting some of the magic spray. Dylan Tracy. Luke Tracy. O'Flynn. Squeezed in between two. Lorcan O'Dell doesn't let him go. He's a good scorer, but he does track back Lorcan O'Dell. Conroy throws a bit of a loose shoulder there. Scully felt the brunt of it, but he's okay. Owen O'Gara is making his way forward. You can't see that, but he is there. Lorcan O'Dell. Good ball. Vickery. O'Gara's in the square. Vickery down to Killian O'Gara. Killian O'Gara, this would be a good score and an important score and a needed score if it went over, which it does. It's also Killian O'Gara's first. Fitzsimons is fouled, it's a free out. O'Callaghan. Lovely ball to Niall O'Callaghan. Niall O'Callaghan. That goes over. Wonderful score from Niall O'Callaghan, who's now on 1-2. O'Dell is pushed over. O'Dell goes direct. Might bounce here for Vickery. The keeper is smartly off his line. That's good stuff and strong stuff from Philip Green. James Power is bottled up and fouled. Good hands, Niall Scully. Scully couldn't stop Niall O'Callaghan. And Niall O'Callaghan pops it over. Confusing my Niles. I should have said good hands, Niall O'Callaghan. Anyway, you probably know him well at this stage. He's now on 1-3 for today. Trainer. Niall Scully. Trying to fist it on was Vickery, but kind of miscued, and it's tidied up by Sheeran. Conroy. James Power back to Conroy. Templeogue have an extra man back there, but Cuala have found it easy enough to get points. So Cuffick Byrne. Niall O'Callaghan, will he go for goal? No. 1-4 for Niall O'Callaghan. I know Dubs are only impressed by 5 in a row, but O'Callaghan is now on 3 in a row. James Power has gone off for Cuala. Brian Smith gone as well. Didn't quite catch who they brought on. They don't put up the board when there's no crowd here. Niall Scully. O'Dell. John Shannon has come in for Cuala. That's one of the changes anyway. Killian O'Gara. It's a good run off the shoulder. Again, O'Gara was the aim, but Fitzsimons was there to block it off. Templeogue have a man down. Sean Brew has taken a couple of knocks. He's received treatment a couple of times and now he's gone off. Looks like Sean McCormack has come in. His first action of the game is to chase Padder O'Cuffig-Byrne. He kind of glides down the park, O'Cuffig-Byrne. Here's Shannon. Keeper does well under pressure. Well, McCormack has just come in for Templeogue Synge Street. He's one of that young brigade I was talking about, and he's not just here for the experience. He'll want to make an impact. He'll want to make a difference, and if Templeogue could get a couple of goals soon enough, then maybe they could make a game of it, but it will be difficult because look what they're up against. Conor O'Callaghan, Niall O'Callaghan, Padder O'Cuffig-Byrne, Michael Fitzsimons. Philip Green, very decent in goal, made a very smart save early in the half. Referee says, look, we're stopped, so let's go for the water break now. So on a hot day, it is time to take a breath. Cuala cruising at the moment onto the Senior 2 Senior Football Championship final, where St. Bridget's are waiting. O'Gara with the lovely score. Cuala's point shooting at times is impressive. O'Cuffig-Byrne, fast and skillful and tall, exactly what you'd want from a midfielder. Kind of along the lines of that Brian Fenton model. So Kilmacud Crokes taking on Ballymun. That's next up. That's a game you can watch on TG Cahir. Since half time, Cuala have got 4 points, including 3 in 3 minutes from Niall O'Callaghan. There's been 2 points for Templeogue Synge Street. Niall Scully and Killian O'Gara getting those. Cuala have kicked 2 wides, Templeogue Synge Street with 1. And as always, we'd love to hear from you via at DubGAA official. That's where you'll find us on Twitter. You'll also get us on Instagram and Facebook, but the fastest and most direct way is via Twitter. If you're a Cuala supporter, I'm sure your mind is now drifting to thoughts of a double. Senior 2 football and Senior A hurling. Well, Templeogue Synge Street need a big finish here. They've got 15 minutes. Here's Jamie Gillen. Shanks went out wide. Running onto it is Sean McCormack. Oh, he just couldn't quite hang on to it, the youngster. They've caught a break though. Jamie Gillen catching the ball. Here's Lorcan O'Dell looking for victory, but the pass just goes astray. Fitzsimons. Conroy. Gillon. Conroy. Trying to turn is Luke Keating. Conroy. Lovely ball from Keating to Conroy. Very clever. Keating back on it now. Shannon is an option if he wants to go with them. Shannon does well to, well, I was about to say does well to win it, but he just couldn't get it into the hands, and it's shoveled away from Rob Power. Now that's a let off for Templeogue Synge Street. Can they do something with it? Can they get up the pitch and get a score? Niall Scully into the path of O'Dell. Advantage being played. It was worth the punt to go long into O'Gara because, as we say, they had the free. He was tugged back, O'Dell, by Luke Tracy. And Niall O'Callaghan, or beg your pardon, Con O'Callaghan is off. Well, that is a luxury. Now, I'm not sure if there was an injury or something, but obviously he's got that senior hurling final next week. But yeah, that's quite something, isn't it, to be able to bring off a player like Con O'Callaghan, who scored 4 from play and 1 from a free. Frank Clune has come in for Templeogue Synge Street. Niall Scully. They need a boost. They need a score. He hasn't managed to keep that on target. Much to their credit, they win it to Templeogue Synge Street. Here's Owen O'Gara. This is what they needed. That's surely a penalty. It is. Good, fast, direct ball. And this time they aren't denied the penalty. This has to go in. Ger Vickery will take it. Vickery to keep Templeogue Synge Street Senior 2 Football Championship hopes alive. Plants it. Well, maybe, just maybe, there's a way back. It's a long way, but still a way. And that's Vickery's last kick of the game because he's being replaced. Greg Rogan is in. Cuffing Byrne one-handed. Dispossessed but fouled. So 19 plays 11 and 7 minutes to go. Conroy. Luke Tracy. Doran, who's done well since coming in. Shannon goes short to Dara Toomey. Intercepted. That's O'Dell making a nuisance of himself. Hasn't given up at all, Lorcan O'Dell. You can see why he's thought of so highly. Jamie Gillen. And you might be thinking why he didn't just go long to O'Gara. It's because O'Gara had come out of full forward. Gillen is dispossessed. Luke Tracy strips it back. That penalty, by the way, was Templeogue Synge's first score since the water break. They look for another one here. It's a bit of an aimless ball. Philip Green intercepts and gets it out to O'Flynn. They were trying to work a goal. I appreciate that, but the point was easy to take there. Cuala, by the way, haven't scored for almost 12 minutes. That last point of the 3 in a row run by Niall O'Callaghan. Free in for Cuala. Luke Tracy really strong to strip the ball back, but then they got it back. Templeogue Synge, Scully inside. Trying to work it in for a goal chance if they could, but just wouldn't happen. Niall O'Callaghan now has gone off, the last man to score for Cuala. Conroy had support from Dylan Tracy, went forward rather than backwards though. Being held up now by Frank Clune, and he's overcarried, and it's a free for Templeogue Synge. It's a big high lofted one. O'Gara got his hand on it, and O'Gara does gather it. Looking down the line, Greg Rogan. Rogan doesn't have too many options. Gets it out to O'Gara. O'Gara's inside. O'Gara! Good save by Green. It's out for a 45. Well, that could have almost happened in slow motion. Owen O'Gara going down the line. Rogan looking for possible people to pass to, but all he had was Killian O'Gara, who was behind him, and it kind of came to him more accidentally than anything else. It's a good save by Green in the end. Now Scully gets it out to Sam Slattery. Gets a push, but guides it over nonetheless. I actually think that might be Conal Cunningham, who's down as 30 in the programme. O'Cuffig Byrne takes the mark. Cal Doran. Out it goes, Niall James. Bit of a blind hand pass by Niall James, and Templeogue Synge have the chance to counter-attack. Get back is the shout from the Cuala defence. Here's Niall Scully. Niall Scully goes long and direct, but again there was just too many red jerseys back there. And just to confirm, Conal Cunningham is 30 in the programme, but he's actually wearing 18. He just got a good point for Templeogue Synge. Kerry blood, but very much a dub. Ball off the head of Dignam. Doesn't work out. Coming through the middle of Flynn. O'Flynn is fouled. Luke Keating Well, I appreciate that they have the game won, but since the water break in the second half, they've got no points, they've got no scores, and that is disappointing. Now, they have taken off both Niall and Khan, or Callahan, but still. Gillen. Odell. Dignam. McCormack. McCormack into Owen O'Gara. Owen O'Gara has to just go for it here and does, but he will have to settle for a point. Into injury time we go. 6 between them. With the likes of O'Gara and Rogan in there, you do have a bit of faith in Templeogue Synge Street that they could get 2 goals, however unlikely it may be, but it is possible. Shannon. It's cool to look for a first score since the water break. They might find one here. Toomey. Toomey lost the ball and then he fouled Killian Keogh. Templeogue Synge Street need to move it up the pitch quickly. Here's Jamie Gillen, who was so unlucky not to get a goal earlier in the game. Cracked one off the woodwork. Gillen. Niall Scully in front of him. That's who he gives it to. O'Gara, needless to say, is on the edge of the square now. He runs out to meet it. Running in behind was Rogan. O'Gara might be able to get inside himself. That's a high tackle on O'Gara, who goes for it from way out, but he had the free coming anyway. They'll have to go again. Well, I've no doubt that Niall Scully has asked the referee how much time is left. It is very unlikely you'll be able to work a goal from this kind of position with so many Cuala players back there, so I wonder, is he better off just popping over the point, bringing it down to a 5-point game, and then just trying to go again. Philip Green is shouting at his defence. He seems to think that they are going to go direct for goal. Scully pops it over. 4 for Niall Scully today, all from frees. Against an incredibly talented Cuala outfit. Templeogue Synge Street have put up quite a battle, and do you know what? It could have been closer. Cuala have been good at times though. Fitzsimons, chased by Killian O'Gara, gets himself out of trouble. That's wonderfully cool play from Fitzsimons. We obsess maybe with Con and Niall, but he's at the back and he has been solid. He's an excellent player to have in your team. Here's O'Flynn, he's not too bad either. Miscue of a pass. Trying to get it back is Dignam. Templeogue Synge Street have the free. What they don't have though is time. Killian O'Gara is being called over by the referee. Scully. Killian O'Gara somehow gets it back to Scully. Scully finds a man inside. Dignam. This is good from Templeogue Synge Street. The shot is a foot block and it's another penalty. Rogan, as soon as he struck it, kind of turned to the ref because he knew. That was good work from Templeogue Synge Street against the Cuala team who faded badly in the fourth quarter. And it is Odell who'll take it. Philip Green just wasting a bit of time. (19 plays 14). This to bring it down to a 2-point game, and then after that you wonder, is there time? Is there one last chance for Templeogue Synge Street after that? That's if this goes in, which it does from Odell. Is there time? Templeogue Synge Street press up. Green goes long. Gillen's trying to get under this for Templeogue Synge Street. He has got it. Finds the pass into the hands of Odell. Odell has a runner out wide. Instead he goes direct to O'Gara. O'Gara being held up in the square. Can he get his hands on that? Green tidies it up. Out to O'Gillon. O'Gillon tries to find Dylan Tracy. Tracy has it in hand. He's been turned over. Niall Scully wants it and gets it. Scully inside. It's Grogan who got the penalty on the last occasion. Pops it over. A 1-point game. Well. 18 plays 19. What a display this is from Templeogue Synge Street. We did say, even when they were 10 points, I think, down at one stage, 11 points, that they wouldn't give up at any stage, and they haven't. Green. Out of play it goes. Line ball to Templeogue Synge Street. Gillen having a look. Going direct. Just wouldn't quite fall to Killian O'Gara. Conroy. O'Cuffig Byrne does get there. O'Cuffig Byrne to Shannon. Shannon. It's a foot race. A foot race which Red wins and Niall James. James inside. This to finish it. Oh, it's off the woodwork. Desperately unlucky from Keenan. But they do get the point, and that might be enough. It's back to Templeogue Synge Street chasing a goal. That is that. Well, Cuala are mightily relieved. They got dragged into a game in the end. 117 plays 3-9. Templeogue Synge Street, much to their credit, never gave up. They're absolutely devastated because they know, had they taken a couple of more chances, had they done things maybe a bit better earlier in the game, they wouldn't have been in the trouble they were in. They mightn't have had to play their way out of it, and in the end they did get close, but it was during the match where this was lost. O'Gara winning that penalty. And at that stage, even when Vickery planted this and put it in, it still looked like it was going to be Cuala who could see it out easily enough, but they really didn't. And then they won another penalty, and we'll get a look at that in a second. Just to sheer determination. Niall Scully running through. Great hands, good passing ability. O'Gara made a bit of a nuisance of himself at times. Owen O'Gara, always the option for the long ball, but as you can see, he can pick a pass out as well. Rogan doing well. Got it out to Killian O'Gara. Killian O'Gara got inside, and that was a good save from Green. As we say, they scored 2 goals from penalties in the second half, but they could have got a few more from play. That was a good point from Conal Cunningham. As we say, the the man with Kerry blood, but very much a true blue dub. Lovely move inside. Owen O'Gara really took it to them. Squeezed over that point. That last quarter was all about Templeogue Synge Street, and just O'Gara ploughing through. Won the free. Was never afraid to run at that Cuala defence. Niall Scully guided it over. That one of 4 frees for Niall Scully in this game. And there he was, involved again, Niall Scully. What a shift he put in. Does not deserve to be on a losing team, but he can be proud of his efforts and his team's efforts. And O'Dell, who was to score his second goal from a penalty in this game. And this is where the penalty came from. Rogan forcing Fitzsimons into the foot block. And at this stage, well, it narrowed the gap. It was just 2 points between them when O'Dell scored this penalty. Beautifully finished as well. And that wasn't the last twist either. Templeogue Synge Street. O'Dell, lovely ball inside. O'Gara trying desperately to get the ball back, but just couldn't there. However, they did turn it over, and they did get another score, and they did narrow it to a 1-point game. Rogan, who, what an impact he had when he came in, won the penalty and scored that point. However, Cuala, much to their credit, stayed cool and did what they needed to do. And well, it could have been a bit more emphatic had that gone in from Jamie Keenan, but in the end, I think that's Niall James who fisted it over, and that was the last play of the game. So it is Cuala who'll play St. Bridget's in the Senior 2 football final after a dramatic win, 117 to 3-9. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, but not to us, to TG Carr, because they're showing Kilmacud Crokes against Ballymun in the Senior 1 semi-final. The winner, of course, going on to play Ballyboden in the final. That's it from us here in Parnell Park. Hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you enjoyed the weekend of football on Dubs TV. And as I say, you can check out the last of the weekend's games in the senior grade on TG Carr. They're getting underway, I think, in a couple of minutes' time. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.